Hi everybody, welcome to Train Forever. I'm Andrew Barr, and today we're talking about how to lose weight gained during lockdown. The first and most important thing that you need to do is to give yourself a break. I mean it. It's the most important thing by far. Obviously, it's not fun to gain unwanted weight, but it's perfectly reasonable under the circumstances, and getting down on yourself or feeling shame or guilt is only going to compound things and make it worse. So before we talk about regular exercise, healthy eating, all the things that you would expect to hear about in a video like this, the first thing that I want to encourage you to do is to practice self-compassion. That is rule number one. So with that in mind, let's talk a little bit about how or why so many people have experienced weight gain through this last year, and then let's talk about what we can do about it. It makes perfect sense that so many people have experienced weight gain as a result of living through a pandemic. Between working from home, shopping online, and so many other activities being either restricted or closed altogether, the result is that most of us are moving less, a lot less. And the result is a significant drop in energy expenditure. Even if you've been exercising every day, it's really difficult to replace all the energy that you would have spent in what was a previously normal day. Even if you had a sedentary job, things like your commute and just taking a short walk to go get a cup of coffee, these things really add up on the energy expenditure part of the equation, particularly over a long period of time, like a year. The other thing that's happened is that we're eating more. And this too makes perfect sense for a few reasons. The first is that if you're stuck at home, well, there's a boredom component there, and that can lead to eating more. There's also a pleasure replacement component. If you've had activities or things that you enjoy restricted or maybe canceled altogether due to the pandemic, and really, who hasn't? Well, you're a little bit low on feel-good chemicals like dopamine. And guess what? Eating delicious food can help your brain get what was its previous normal supply of dopamine. And the last thing is stress. Eating in response to stress is very common and frankly perfectly normal. So you add all these up, we've been eating more. If any of this sounds like you, the first thing that you need to know is that you are not alone. This describes millions, if not hundreds of millions of people right now. The second is that you are not weak or a bad person or anything like that, because living through a global pandemic and the associated fallout and changes has negatively impacted your health, fitness, or body composition. It's okay. And with all of that in mind, it's also reasonable to want to make some changes and reprioritize your health. So let's look at a few concrete, actionable tips that can help you snap out of lockdown funk and start making progress towards your health, fitness, or body composition goals. The first thing to do is to do a mental health check. Are you okay right now? If on a fundamental level the answer is no, then now is likely not the right time to undertake a weight loss project. Now, don't get me wrong, eating well and exercise do wonders for mental health, and they are essential strategies for any well-rounded mental health management or improvement routine, and I would encourage anybody struggling with their mental health to do their best to incorporate those things into their routine. But weight loss is a separate thing. It's related to eating well and exercising, but you can eat well and exercise and not lose weight. You can do those things and maintain weight or gain weight. The thing that governs weight loss is energy balance or being in a caloric deficit, which is in itself a stressor. Maybe right now is not the right time to add a new stressor into your life. If I were in that situation, I would prioritize my mental health through eating well and exercising, yes, but also getting good sleep, exploring tools like mindfulness meditation, accessing my support system, working with mental health professionals if appropriate, and then and only once my mental health was back on track, look to explore other health and performance goals. If this is a good time for you to work on weight loss or body transformation, if you're feeling positive, confident, and motivated, then the best place to start is by moving more. Exercise, yes, but instead focusing on trying to replace some, if not all, of that activity that you lost when we shifted from, normal to more of a locked down existence. And the way that we fundamentally replace that movement is through walking more. Walking is the single best thing that you can do for your health. So don't write it off as just walking. That's a critical error. Start looking at how you can build walking into your day. If you're having a hard time getting going and motivated in the morning, well, a short 10-minute or more brisk walk can help energize you and maybe help you be more productive through your workday. If you're really busy with work and you have a hard time taking a break, see if you can do some, if not all, of your phone calls while you're out for a walk. And if that's not possible for whatever reason or due to the nature of your work, see about going for a longer walk in the evenings after your workday has calmed down. The only real limitation to the amount of walking that you can or should do is the amount of time that you have. Other than that, walk as much as you can. If you're finding this content useful and informative, go ahead and give me a like and make sure you hit subscribe so you never miss another training tip. I'll be putting out a new video each week to help you get the most out of your training sessions. Thanks so much. I really appreciate your support. As for the exercise aspect of things, actual workouts, contrary to what you hear online, intense exercise like HIIT or whatever else is not the best way to lose weight. And in fact, in terms of the effect that exercise has on body composition, all types of exercise are really pretty similar. So the most important thing to do is to create a training routine that you can stick to consistently for a long period of time, because successful weight loss, it just takes time. That's a fact. We can't work around that. One of the best things that you can do to help yourself stick to your routine is to prioritize activities that you enjoy. The nutrition side of things is admittedly a little bit more difficult. It is generally easier to start doing something, like exercise, than it is to stop doing something, like eating a lot. Another important consideration is you may have been using food as something to help you feel good. And that makes perfect sense. But before you start considering, eating less pizza or ice cream or whatever it is, you are going to need to have other things in your life that make you feel good. Exercise, good sleep, healthy nutrition, and sunshine are the foundation, but it will be important to have other activities that are pleasurable too. In terms of specific nutrition advice, the one that comes up the most for me while working with clients is increasing protein intake. The International Protein Board recommends 1.4 to 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight for somebody following a healthy weight loss plan. This is not as much as you would need if you were, say, a competitive bodybuilder, but it is more than people need just to simply live and exist. And it's something that many people following a weight loss plan often overlook. There are many benefits to increasing protein intake in the context of a weight loss plan. One is that it helps you feel fuller longer, which has the downstream effect of helping to reduce the frequency and intensity of cravings. It also, crucially, helps you preserve your lean mass or your muscle while you're losing body fat. And there's also something really cool called the thermic effect of feeding, where, long story short, your body uses more energy to digest protein than it does other foods. So there's a little shift in the energy balance equation in your favor if you're prioritizing protein. So this is something to consider. Some other important considerations. Number one, be patient. Healthy weight loss takes time. 1 pound per week is the rate or pace that you hear talked about a lot. And although that's absolutely achievable, it's actually quite a rapid pace. And it can be challenging, if not totally disheartening, if you've really been putting in high quality effort for, say, 2 weeks and you only see the scale move 2 pounds. But if you sustain that pace over several weeks or months, well, then it really does start to add up. It's also a good idea to take breaks. It is not usually realistic to expect somebody or expect yourself to be perfectly disciplined for, say, 24 weeks or 30 weeks. Take the occasional day, weekend, or even a week off. The mental health release is worth the slight delay in your progress. As long as it's a deliberate part of your plan and you get back on track once the break is completed, it's a great idea. Lastly, Be honest with yourself. Is this a good time for you to work on losing weight? It might not be. And in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't make much of a difference if you start today or in a month from now. You legitimately might have other things going on in your life that need to be the priority. It is unfortunately common for people to spend years and years trying to lose the same 20 pounds and never really making any progress. You're better off taking your time, getting organized, and picking a block of time of several months where you truly can make weight loss a priority if safe to do so. And understand that the things that you'll need to do to lose weight are not the same things that you'll need to do to maintain your new weight. I hope you thought today's video was useful, and if you did, please give me a like and make sure you hit subscribe so you never miss another training tip. I'll be putting out a new video each week to help you get the most out of your training sessions. And if you're interested in personalized coaching to help you achieve your fitness, health, or body composition goals, you can contact me directly to learn more about my online coaching. I put my contact info in the description. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next week.